It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Welcome to 2K Sports. I'm your host, Ernie Johnson. Kenny the Jet Smith is here, and so is the Big Diesel, Shaquille O'Neal. And coming right up, we'll see Montreal playing against the Bucks. Well, for Milwaukee, if tonight works out the way they...
On the day that... And before... Well, thanks so much, David. So the Bucks win the tip. Here are the starters for Montreal. They've got Harrison Barnes, Satoransk there with Paul. Then it's Clint Capella, and it's Young in at the power forward position. Now, here is Harden. Playing Memphis, he was nearly unstoppable. And there's the 3-second violation. Paul, screen by Capella. Paul dishes to Young. Paul kicks to Barnes. And not gonna go. He misses the first attempt on the night. Now here's Harden. He's been a nice option for them offensively, and he's averaging more than 17 points a game. Nance a screen on Paul. Shot clock at 5. Yep, that one goes. Harden's got the game going here with the first basket for the Bucks.
And you got to enjoy watching Harden down low, doing whatever he wants in the paint.
Barnes passes to Capella. Back to Barnes. And stolen by Thomas. And it's the Bucks on the break. The feed now to Harden. And here in the first, closing in on 2 minutes play. And Parsons kicks to Harden. Shot clock at 6. Nance dishes to Harden. Buries the long-range jumper. Harden's got 5 points so far.
And with Harden, it's pick your poison. Not only a tenacious penetrator, but also a consistent threat from three-point.
Here's Satoranski. Young passes to Paul. Capella sets a screen for Paul. Pulls up, high post. It's good from Barnes on the assist by Paul. Every NBA player, Steve, believes in themselves, but some take it to the extreme. When they're on, they're on. And when they're off and cold, they just kind of lose interest, it seems. Which players do you think have this irrational confidence, if you want to call it that?
I think J.R. Smith, every shot, any shot, anywhere he feels is going in, and he will still take shots. He has amnesia. He could be 0 for 10 and keep shooting the basketball. Jamal Crawford is another guy. Those guys, they keep firing. Damian Lillard, they will keep shooting because they feel the next shot is going in.
The shot by Satoranski, no good.
Yeah, blown opportunity after the two-man game creates a terrific look.
That's how it's drawn up. That is, everything but the finish.
Took the opportunity when he saw it. 8 points for James Harden.
I love seeing Harden stroke it from there. One of the most lethal shooters we have in the game.
52 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Nobody near Barnes. Rebounded by the Bucks. Got to keep rolling here following the win against Memphis.
Executed on the road, stayed focused, stay consistent with who you are as a team.
Well, sometimes the away games brings guys together. It's you versus the world in that situation.
Montreal trails by 8. Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively for sure.
I think the pull-up jump shot is one of the most dangerous shots in Chris Paul's arsenal. He is so quick on the draw with that shot.
Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. Outside Thomas. There's the pick. Harden outside. And a miss there on the triple. Satoranski. Not going to go that time. And so it's the Milwaukee Bucks with a 6-point lead at the end of the quarter. Defensive. And now the second quarter just getting set to start. When you consider how Montreal trails by 6. And a big story for the Bucks team is that they are slated to play their last season here at the BMO Harris Bradley Center. And then starting in 2018, they'll be playing next door at what should be a beautiful complex.
Yeah, and it was part of the plan to keep the Bucks happy and playing here in Milwaukee. Goal is to have the venue act as a new centerpiece for the downtown district, and it seems like a fantastic place to build a state-of-the-art NBA arena.
We've got Larry Nance, Harden out there with Thomas. Then there's Jonas Valanciunas, and it's Parsons in at center. That's the 5 on the floor for the Bucks. Young's shot is off. Bucks leading by 7. Harden left side over Paul, and the basket by Harden. Harden's got 10.
And I love seeing Harden get room to shoot from that mid-range position, an effective scorer in that area.
Down low, and the dunk by Capella.
And maybe that'll trigger them. Impossible not to get pumped up after that.
Yeah, well, you could see the immediate reaction of the guys on the bench. They are pumped up. Thomas kicks to Harden. Over Young. Again, the miss by Harden.
I can tell you right now, the coach loved everything about that shot except the result.
So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up, and 2 shots coming up. Montreal shooting their first free throws of the night right here.
And 75% on the season as a unit from the free throw line.
That's also good. So he hits both free throws. Second quarter of basketball, just over a minute and a half played so far. Screen by Valanciunas. Thomas, it's a wide open look. That 3 off the mark. Montreal trails by 5. Here's Paul. Taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 9.5 points a game. Capella with a screen on Valanciunas. Barnes dishes to Capella. His shot is good, making him a perfect 2 for 2 from the floor.
And their shots are falling now with more regularity than we saw at first.
Harden the pass to Thomas. Feeds to Valanciunas. To the middle. A jump hook. Tried to bank it in, but he misses. For Montreal, they've gone 3 of 4 from the floor here in the second quarter. Capella with a screen on Harden. Harden against Paul. Shot clock at 6. From deep. Montreal getting another chance here. Capella kicks to center Ansky. Paul against Harden. A second chance effort. And a big bounce off the rim, but it sinks right in. And it's now only a 1-point Bucks lead. He dishes it to Parsons. Here's the screen. It's Thomas outside. That's in, coming off the assist from Parsons. Thomas got 5 points so far. Thaddeus Young on the wing. Inside. Capella dishes to Young. It's stolen by Nance. 8-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. And he comes up with the deuce. Now it's a 6-point Milwaukee lead.
Yeah, I love the communication and the chemistry between those teammates.
Paul outside. Screened by Capella. Paul passes to Capella. And here's Barnes for 3. Larry Nance comes up with the rebound. And Valanciunas kicks to Harden. Nobody near Parsons. And again, it's Milwaukee converted.
And that's how Parsons makes his living. Great shooter off the catch.
And that does it for the first half of play. Bucks lead by 8. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from... Thank you, David, for that interview, and we'll see you back here after the break for third quarter basketball.
The 2K Sports Halftime
Welcome back,
Show.
everybody. It's the halftime show on 2K Sports. Ernie Johnson here with Kenny the Jet Smith, and James Harden was the man in the first. He had 10 points and 1 assist. Shaq, let's get your take on Milwaukee.
Well, they're getting high percentage looks, good game planning. The ball is moving around. Guys aren't pulling the trigger at the first thing they...
And that will...
Welcome back to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, the buildings of downtown reflecting off the gentle waters of beautiful Lake Michigan. Montreal trails by 8. All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade for the second half of basketball. On the court right now for Montreal, Harrison Barnes is out there with Young. Then it's Chris Paul. Then it's Clint Capella. And it's Satoransky in at the 2. And that one's good, Barnes. Now the NBA can be a superstitious place at times, Steve, with all the quirks and characters in the league. And you played. What was the strangest game day ritual that you ever saw?
I think Harold Miner. He touched everything with his nose. His gym shoes, his wristbands, the basketballs at the free throw line, and everybody did. And I think for me, as I got older, it wasn't strange. It was out of necessity. I had to get in some kind of steam room and have all those hot pads wrapped around me just to get loose to play.
I like that story. I don't like Baby Jordan's story, though. Harold Miner, that doesn't work for me. I don't understand that. And so it's Milwaukee now. Their biggest lead of the game was 9. And this matchup with Montreal, it's their first meeting of the season. Thomas, no luck. Montreal trails by 3. Barnes can't get it to go.
That's one of his shots in his arsenal, but it was terrific rim protection.
And Valanciunas kicks to Thomas. Left side, Nance over Young. The shot's good from Nance. And the Bucks lead by 5.
And they're passing the ball very crisply here.
Harden against Paul. Pass to Satoransky. Young, a screen on Thomas. Lock at 6. Satoransky, the pass to Young. Offensive rebound. Capella banked in off the glass. Capella's got 6.
Defensively, you cause the miss, but then you have to corral it.
You know, there's nothing more frustrating than that. Giving up points on a possession, you won.
Thomas a screen from deep. Harden. Rebounded by Capella. Capella's got 7 rebounds in the game. And Satoransky kicks to Capella. Passes to Paul. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
And as a defender trying to stop the drive, Chris Paul shifts gears so well, it's hard to beat him to the spot.
And Paul drills both of them.
And that's the norm for him. He's pretty much automatic when he's at the line.
Harden against Paul. Nance dishes to Valanciunas. Back to Nance. Good defensive work there by Young.
Just great at getting after it defensively, forcing guys into tough shots.
Yeah, to be successful, you've got to protect the paint. He rises to that challenge.
For the lead. Rebound, Milwaukee. And Valanciunas out of Lithuania, the 5th overall pick back in 2011.
Yeah, he's still quite young. You know, a lot of talent offensively. Defensively, he's probably had less of an impact, but that's where he has to take the next step.
Capella against Parsons. Capella kicks to Young. Over in the corner, Barnes. Over Valanciunas. And it's wide right. Hits off the rim.
Still no rhythm. This may be a time when you want to make the extra pass. Give someone else a chance.
Capella against Parsons. The three from Harden. Cans it from downtown. And it's a 6-point Milwaukee lead.
Well, you leave a guy that open with Parsons on the floor, and you know he's going to find him.
Just 2 seconds between shot clock and game clock. Here's Satoransky. 5 points in the game. Screen by Capella. And Satoransky kicks to Paul. Trying to answer back, but that three is off the mark. And so it's Milwaukee with their lead standing at 6 points here at the end of the quarter. And it's been their rugged defense setting the tone. We'll return shortly. Now let's take a listen on head coach Dwayne Casey.
We got to keep the ball moving. Keep drawing it.
All right, we welcome you back to what's been a hard-fought battle. Fourth quarter should be good. And here's Harden. Harden out there with Thomas. Then there's Jonas Valanciunas. Then it's Nance. And it's Parsons in at the 5. That's the group for Milwaukee right now.
And thus far, they've managed to overcome an off game from him offensively.
Screen by Young. Barnes outside. 6 on the shot clock. Fires the 3. And going out of bounds. Last touch by Barnes. Bucks leading by 6. Harden with it. Nance a screen. Harden outside. It's stolen by Capella. And now Paul pushing it up. No one back to stop him. And the dunk by Capella.
CP3 moving the basketball around. That's what you want out of your point guard.
Screen by Valanciunas. Thomas passes to Valanciunas. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact. And he'll go to the line for 2.
Really the right play defensively. If you can't block, force them to the line.
The free throw drops for Valanciunas.
For a player his size, Valanciunas has always been a good free throw shooter. We won't see a hack of Val anytime soon. That's a huge advantage, having a big guy who can shoot free throws like this.
And Satoransky kicks to Barnes. Pass to Paul. Over Harden. Paul can't get it to go. Milwaukee in the lead. Kicks to Parsons. To the right side. Nice ball movement by Milwaukee. Parsons with a screen on Barnes. Screen by Valanciunas. Just 5 on the clock. 18 feet out. It's rebounded by Paul. Montreal trails by 6. There's the pass to Satoransky. Barnes screen on Thomas. Now Barnes. Over Harden. And no good. Trying to use the glass. Here's Valanciunas. Good. It's Harden with the assist that time. And the Bucks lead by 8.
Valanciunas has made so many strides as a scorer since he started in the NBA.
Satoransky the pass to Barnes. He kicks it to Paul. Young against Nance. Screen by Capella. Here's Young. Plays it up and banks it in.
Really, really good at recognizing the gaps and getting the ball to the rim.
They set the pick. Outside Thomas. Floats one. Foul called that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. He hits the first one, and that makes it a 7-point lead. So he goes 2 for 2 at the line, and it's an 8-point game. Here's Satoransky. Barnes screen on Thomas. Barnes kicks to Paul. Over Harden. Paul with the bucket.
Well, he's so efficient with the mid-range jumper. Few point guards have done it as well as Chris Paul.
And the call is going to be, yes, it is, an illegal screen.
And that's a tough one, but on those illegal screen calls, the defender's never going to get the benefit of the doubt.
Some guys, they just know how to get away with it, and some don't.
Barnes kicks to Paul. Lets it go from 14. Paul missing again. Ball against Harden to the paint. Oh, a nice defensive play to disrupt the alley-oop.
And definitely playing the opponent, but also they're playing against the clock.
I think that's the thing. You can't give away 1 second now. You're toast.
And now they decide to foul intentionally. He doesn't hit the first, and that was the one they really wanted. He's got one more, though, and he ends up making the second, and that makes it a 7-point lead. Montreal calls timeout. They trail by 7. We've got 28 seconds left in the fourth quarter. And now we've got a moment for our Jordan player of the game, James Harden.
And to me, the best part of his game has been the work he's done inside. I mean, slashing, driving the lane, attacking the basket at every chance. When he's had an opening, he's taken it.
What a connection he has to these fans. They love him here. And the more he has games like this, the deeper that connection gets. We've got 28 seconds left in the fourth. Paul dishes to Young. And stolen by Parsons. And they can just dribble the ball until the buzzer.
Yeah, they got to be happy with the outcome.
Harden against Paul. Now, here is Harden. And so the Bucks take the win. They didn't make it easy on themselves or their fans, but in the end, everyone's satisfied.
I mean, there was some...
All right, David, thank you. And that'll do it, folks. First.
Put you on game. I never complain about the